with the new offense that they're running. I don't know if you watched any of the Ravens games, like for a couple minutes at least, but
Yeah.
they look pretty good. And Lamar is still Lamar. Like he's still like you can't account for him. Like he's still very, very good. And he's been throwing some pretty balls. And my biggest critique with Lamar over the past couple of years has been his accuracy. I've watched some of his games and I've seen him just miss people that are borderline open. But then I've seen him dropping some balls in some tight buckets. So like it's iffy. But this season, But this season, time out.
Pause.
This season. Okay, let me rephrase that.
I'm sorry. Lamar was so suspect.
He's about to turn into Deshaun Watson. Let's not go there. We don't want to go there. Lamar has been playing well, and I think that Ravens defense is legit, just like I was telling you at the beginning of the season, before the season actually, and just like I told you that the Ravens have a chance to go to the Super Bowl. Who's guarding that team? There's no defensive team. The Cowboys, you could say the Cowboys or 49ers have the best defense, but think about it. If you're trying to pass rush Lamar, he just runs up the middle every time because the linemen always push out the edge rushers outside purposefully. So Lamar, if he needs to scramble, he goes straight up the gut, and then he's gone. What are you going to do? You can't. There's no defense that can prepare for that. You can't. There's no preparing like Josh Allen. You can't prepare for that. Well, it's different with the Bills. They don't have a good running game, really. The Ravens have always had a solid running game. Always. Without Lamar, the running backs have always had a solid running game. The Bills, don't look at me that way. You better stop.
I absolutely am. Did you watch the Bills game this week?
This week. Yes, this week. They went off on the ground. Of course they did. You can't go nowhere but up from week one's performance. I mean, for goodness sakes.
James Cook had 150 yards himself. Come on. What are we talking about here?
James Cook.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, you need to be using my boy Damian Harris more. That's what needs to be happening. But that's
James Cook is better. James Cook is better. Damian Harris still played well, too. So, you can't say that we don't have a running game.
James Cook is more versatile. He's a good pass catcher. He's more versatile. But to say he's better, come on now. Damian Harris is a better running back. Running with the ball, Damian Harris is better. Anyways, back to my original point about the Bills' running game. Last year, they were not good on the ground. The year before, they were not good on the ground. And that's why they always get into these, what do you call it? Not slugfest, but they always get into these shootouts with other teams that also have a good quarterback. And then they just keep throwing until the game gets close and one team starts running it, but the Bills can't run it. They got it. Well, they can with Josh Allen, but eventually you're going to, try to, if you know he's going to run it and it's a set run, you're going to get Allen. He might gain like 5 yards and run you over, but regardless. So what do you think about the Ravens? Because I think they're looking pretty solid. I think they're legit so far. And they've played some good teams now.
Yeah. I mean, I got to give the Ravens credit. They do look good through 2 weeks. They haven't played two solid teams. They played the Texans. Give me a break.
Oh, come on. C.J. Stroud, prime Will Anderson.
Buddy. I picked Houston. I picked Houston out of spite to you. I thought C.J. Stroud was going to come all against the Colts.
Stroud breakout game. C.J. Stroud breakout game.
But I will say they did look shaky at times. Since it wasn't like a blowout. The Ravens didn't blow them out of the water. It was a close game. And Cincinnati's a good team. So I'm going to give them credit for winning that game. But take it easy on them for week 2. And they are a good team. But do I trust Lamar Jackson in the playoffs? I don't know. So, yeah, they're good. They're probably a top 5 team right now. But just not there yet. I'm not there yet. I need to see more from that offense. I need to see Lamar Jackson using his receivers a lot more. I need to see Odell Beckham step up. I need to see Zay Flowers getting involved. And J.K. Dobbins, the loss of J.K. Dobbins is huge. Huge. It does not help them at all. So I need to see how the rest of the season goes, but they do look good. They look good. I can't deny that. I just need. I'm a TBD on the Ravens right now.
Okay. What is your biggest takeaway from week 1, or not week 1, week 2? What caught you by surprise, or was like, I didn't expect that, or something that kind of blew you away from week 2?
I'm gonna say this is tough because I don't think there was anything that was like super. Oh my god, like that! I didn't expect that. I'm gonna say the Jaguars. They looked terrible. They didn't. Did they even score a touchdown in the game? I don't even remember. I just remember they scored 9 points. I don't think they scored
3 field goals. I believe so. 3 field goals.
So if they're gonna compete with the Bills, the Ravens, the Chiefs, they need to be able to score a touchdown. And they were at home. Like
I don't know if Jacksonville's a real home field advantage, if I'm being honest with you.
It's not, but you always play better in your own house, right? So if you're in your own house and you know you're going up against the Chiefs, you got to step up, man. Like you got to step up to the plate, and you guys, and they're a solid team through and through. I mean, they have guys across the board. It's just a matter of you got to step up when it matters. They could have easily lost in week 1. I mean, they could have lost to Anthony Richardson, for crying out loud. Like they need to kind of hone in on what their strengths are, which is their offense. Calvin Ridley, Trevor Lawrence, Travis Etienne, Christian Kirk, all of those guys need to get on the same page and work together because that team can win a lot of games. They just need to figure it out. And when it comes to the big moment, like playing the Chiefs or playing the Bills or playing the Ravens or the Bengals, they need to figure out how they can compete with those teams. And they just look terrible to me.
Well, I'll say this about that game. Chris Jones was back. Travis Kelce was back.
Yeah.
Chris Jones, I think now people see that, man, this dude really, like, he is legit. I don't know. Was he in the 99 club this year for Madden or no? Did he get the 99 or no?
I don't know. I'm
not sure, but but I know he's 95 plus. I know that for a fact. So
yeah,
this dude watching that game, he was abusing the Jaguars O-line by himself. And that caused like Trevor to be so disoriented. And then Kelce, in fitting fashion, he got a touchdown in his first game back. I mean, surprise, surprise, it's Travis Kelce. But it's, to be fair to the Jaguars, they did come off a mediocre win in Indy. Then they come back home and play Kansas City. But Kansas City, if they lose a game, you know it's really unlikely they lose another one right after that. Yeah. It's really rare they lose 2 in a row. You know how pissed Patrick Mahomes gets.
Yeah.
So, you know, he had a point to prove that game. So, I mean, I think Jaguars were just collateral damage. It was going to happen to them regardless. I think the Jaguars are going to be good, and they're going to still win a lot of games, like you said.
Yeah. What was your takeaway from this week?
Well, the biggest wow for me was definitely Nick Chubb. Like Nick Chubb getting injured, because that's devastating. But I think for me, I was kind of shocked, and I kind of think this is where I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but I feel like there's something bigger going on with the NFL games. Every season, there's always something that's like, that's not right, or that doesn't seem right. And I think the Cardinals and the Giants game was so odd to me, only because the Giants have been playing like hot garbage. To be fair,
the Giants came back like 20 points last week. Like
that's my point. Is like you're playing the Cardinals, who have Josh Dobbs starting for them at quarterback. Josh Dobbs and Jonathan Gannon.
Hey! Did you know that Joshua Dobbs is a rocket scientist? Did you know he's a genius that interned for NASA?
I don't care if he's all of those things. I don't care if he's the next Einstein. I don't care if he's the next Oppenheimer. He's not a good quarterback. Call it what you want. He's not. But Jonathan Gannon, this guy, he reminds me of, what's that Jets coach? Adam Gase. That's who Jonathan. He says, "How many of you guys took the bus? See your hands. How many of you guys took the bus?"
That was absurd. Like, dude, these are multi-million-dollar. Like, what? They didn't
He's
take
like,
the bus.
you got that fire. You got that fire in your gut.
Your gut.
Well, you better get it real quick. We're here to win some football games, knowing good and damn well he has nobody on his roster at all. But what are you going to do? You're a first-year head coach. So the Cardinals game, the reason I say all that is to say that the Cardinals game was so interesting because the Cardinals are up, 28-7 on the New York Giants? And it's like, damn, like these Giants, they're just – what is going on? Did they figure them out? What's going on like with New York? This is not – it doesn't look good for New York.
Yeah.
Both New York teams, it's like, man, New York can't have nothing good. The Knicks, the Giants, nothing. They can't have nothing.
The Knicks Yankees, are
solid. I guarantee you, if you asked every Knicks fan, would you give away Julius? If Julius Randle left the team, would you be sad? Everybody would be like, no, not at all. No, not at all.
Did you see his playoff performance? Of course not.
Yeah. But I think there's a bigger thing going on because the Cardinals, everybody knows they're on Caleb Williams alert. But for some reason, they were in good position to win the game last week. What was it, against the Saints, 17-16 or something like that?
No, they played the Commanders. Or excuse me, the Redskins.
Okay, they played that team in Washington. And they barely won, but they had the lead at one point, and then they just like got exposed. Or the Commanders played well. But then this game, it's like, oh, we're up 28-7, and we're going against the Giants. They're winning that game. The Giants are not coming back. I think so let me just say what I'm going to say because I know I'm beating around the bush here. Right. I think the Cardinals purposefully threw that game. I don't think the players on the field know that they're throwing games. I don't think it's ever the players that are like, oh yeah, we're going to lose because I want to play with Caleb. NFL players want their bag. They want their money. They don't want to be embarrassed. But I think if you're a coaching staff and ownership has talked to you, who's the Steve Keim? Is it for the Cardinals or something like that?
I think so.
I guarantee you he's in Gannon's ear. Hey, I promise you we're not going to fire you. Do you want Caleb Williams or do you want Kyler Murray? Like truthfully. And I think Gannon knows that. And I think he's told his coaching staff that. I don't have any sources. This is purely theory. This is purely what Isaiah thinks. And I think they're throwing. It's so obvious. How do you? And it was like third quarter. They're up 28-7. How do you lose that game in Arizona? And Cardinals fans really love the Cardinals. They do love. I've been in Arizona for a couple of years now, almost 4 years. People love the Cardinals, whether they're good or bad. People love the Suns, whether they're good or bad. That's just how Arizona is. So, to put that on the field and then lose that game is like you feel bad for the players. That's what I think. Do you think I'm just reaching at this point, or do you think that's accurate?
I don't dislike the theory. I mean, I didn't think of it that way, but then I'm realizing that Washington game was real close. And, they just blew a 28-7 lead. Whoa. So, I mean, I don't dislike the theory, but I mean, it's a bit of a stretch. I mean, I just think the Cardinals are bad. I don't they're just terrible. They're not a good team. So it's not surprising that they quote unquote blew the lead. They're just a bad team. I mean, the Cardinals they're in the depths of hell right now. I don't know what's going on with that franchise. I mean, they have a talented.
Feel bad for him.
I mean, I like Kyler Murray a lot. I do. I mean, his talent is insane. The guy can sling it. He can run it. I mean,
terrible leader.
But he's not a good leader, and that's the thing. But I also think it's the environment he's in. He does not want to be in Arizona. It's clear and obvious he doesn't want to be in Arizona. So I don't think they're purposely blowing games, but I mean, you can make the argument. It's pretty plausible if you ask me. So I just don't. I don't know. We're gonna have to see Cardinals look like and see what the rest of their games look like, because now you got me thinking, if they go up on another team this year and then they blow it,
lose, they play. I think they play a really, really good team. Oh, they play the Cowboys this week.
Yikes.
I just think they're going to lose naturally if they try their hardest. I would put my bank account that the Cowboys are winning that game convincingly.
Yeah.
Okay, I want to ask you a question. This is a little off topic. It's only been 2 weeks, And we're always going to preface it. I think once we get to around week 5 or 6, we can stop with the BS excuse of, we got to see what they look like. 5 games is 1/3 of the season, roughly. We get a good we get a good measure of who you are, what identity you're trying to find as a team.
Yeah.
Out of these coaches, which one is on the hottest seat? I want to know your thoughts. Okay. 1, Brandon Staley of the LA Chargers.
Yeah.
Candidate number 2, Matt Eberflus of the Chicago Bears.
That's tough.
And candidate number 3, I know you're gonna think I'm being ridiculous or I'm being extra, but I know they've won a game, and he just started. But Dennis Allen of the New Orleans Saints. I know they've won a game, but who out of those 3 coaches, which one is on the hottest seat, and why do you think that? 2 weeks into the season.
Okay, before I move into this, I just want to mention, I am getting thrown out of my group chats right now and I my friend Will wants to get on here, but he's gonna have to get into this take. But I just want to say, and add me back. Anyways.
They're not adding you back. Don't add him back. Oliver doesn't know what he's talking about ever. Don't add him back.
Bro, I haven't said anything.
Respond anyways.
Dude, I haven't said
D&D. Don't even add him back. Don't add him back.
We've been now like 20 minutes, and for some reason I've done something wrong to get. So I will say it's definitely Brandon Staley. I mean, how many chances do you? I mean, seriously.
Chances?
Well, yeah, it's the Cowboys. Who cares? Like, give me.
Okay.
The thing is, like this guy, Brandon Staley,
and a supposed defensive mastermind. The proper accolades when he was with the Rams and apparently he's like the supposed
up-and-coming star
Herbert.
Well, hell, if I had Aaron Donald and Jalen Ramsey on my defense, you could throw anybody back there and they'd look good. Let's be honest.
Yeah, exactly. So I also am looking in the YouTube chat. Ethan said isn't getting added back until he admits Herbert is better than Hurts.
Okay, we're gonna get to
Justin Herbert. Just give me a minute. Yeah, it's got to be Brandon. It's not like he has
to.
He can't do this stuff where he's going in to. And who did they play this week and lose to? They lost to the
Tennessee Titans.
The Titans.
Yeah, that's right. Like, you don't lose that game. Justin Herbert, Mike Williams, Keenan Allen.
They were down. They were down Austin Eckler this week. They were down Eckler. He's injured, so he was out this week. I just want to point that out.
But still, you have a top 5 quarterback. You don't lose to Tennessee, and you're deep.
Oh, that's debatable.
What do you?
That's debatable. I think last year he was the top 5 quarterback. This year, I don't know. He might be. I got to think about it hard, but continue.
Right.
Continue your take.
Okay, but it's to me, it's Brandon Staley.
Pretty bad.
But
I feel bad for Justin Fields, man. Jesus.
Like, the guy, he has all the talent in the world, and the Bears are wasting it. Like, he's the kind of guy that needs a system. He needs the Ohio. Why do you think he was so successful at Ohio State? Because the system was like, he had the ability to run. He had the ability to get out of the and chuck it downfield. The Bears, they aren't running an offense that's built. Like, every offense that you see that is prominent in the league,
Their
quarterbacks, right? Like Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Who am I missing? Anyways,
Not Mac Jones. Not
Yeah.
Mac Jones. I can tell you that.
yeah. Anyways, it's Brandon Staley. The guy has to figure it out. He's had multiple to this point, and starting 0-2, it's not a.
So a couple things about Brandon Staley. I agree. I think it has to be Staley hands down. And I think the fact that he's getting so testy with reporters in the press conferences because they're asking him if last year's Jaguars game is having a lingering effect on the team, which everybody knows that's a stupid question because everybody knows the clear answer to that is no. But, I mean, they gave up. Okay, so the Dolphins game, I kind of give them a pass on that because it's like you're playing against Tyreek Hill, Waddle, and Tua. So, like, that's a really good team. They're probably going to be in the conversation for best offense in the league at the end of the season. And then to lose to Tennessee, though, like that was like, where's this defense? They have Mac, they have J.C. Jackson, they have Derwin James, they have Joey Bosa. Where the hell are these guys? What are they doing? Just going brain dead when the whistle blows? Like, I mean, these guys are a joke. I'm watching these games and I'm like, dude, Ryan Tannehill looks like a prime Joe Montana playing against this Chargers defense. It's ridiculous. And then Staley, he pisses me off when the camera cuts to him like a billion times a day, and he's always, or a billion times a game, and he's always doing this. Walking back and forth every single like second. He's just walking back, and it's kind of like Sean Payton chewing the gum. So yeah, I think Staley, they got to get rid of Staley. I think they're going to get rid of him before the season ends, especially if they lose. I don't know who they play this upcoming week, but if they go 0-3, my goodness, it can't get any worse than that. You blow a 27-point lead against Jacksonville, and then you're losing your first two games of the season. And then if you go 0-3, I mean, I think I could see them putting Kellen Moore as the head coach instead of going outside somewhere else to get somebody else. I could see them promoting Kellen Moore to the head coach since he's already.
I could see that.
The offense has been good, but that defense is like atrocious.
Okay, I'm supposedly getting a call on my phone from my friend Will, who wants to speak about the Pittsburgh Steelers and the. So, do you mind if we take this call?
Go ahead. We got a caller. Call it in.
All right.
Fine.
You're live. All right. He had his chance.
We didn't even get to hear what he had to say.
I know.
Brother,
he was like,
back. We didn't hear what he had to say.
Hold on, I'm calling him back. Come on, buddy. Okay. Hello? Can you hear him?
I can hear him, yes.
I don't know what we're talking about.
Oh, you said you wanted to talk about the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Look,
So what?
Deshaun Watson looked like he was the best quarterback in the league. He jumps on into week 2 and forgot how to count his marbles. Fumbling 2 times, throwing picks.
One of the picks wasn't his fault. One of the picks was not his fault.
The picks was not his
fault. I mean, look.
Got sore muscles, all right? It makes sense, all right? But come on.
Watson needs to fit Foe, if I'm being honest. Buddy needs to fit
what's going on.
on with him. And I think we were talking about this earlier. Like, to figure out what the offense is going to look like without Nick Chubb. I don't think
Watson's
bad. I just think that he needs to get up his role in the offenses now because he doesn't have that
back he
he can
can
rely on. So
The first problem is they have a running back with the name Chubb on the team. You want to work hard, all right? It's never going to work. And Deshaun Watson, he's jumping cities like he's, if he can. Yet he can't hold on to the ball. He's hurting fantasy teams. He's hurting a lot of other things. But, the guy's not some stellar grade A. He's not good on or off the field. And so I don't really know what the Browns are doing.
I don't disagree with that. I mean, he hurts your fantasy team, right?
I'm playing this game. He's just got a terrible team. It's one of the worst teams. He's just got horrible players. And John Watson let me down once again. Going up against the Pittsburgh. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. How you fumble the ball to Pennsylvania? No one's ever been.
Oh my god. Look. I think what happened was the Steelers
and decided that
what happened last week.
And
what
needed to happen was
their defense. That's what they did. Their defense is nuts. So, and I guess
Ridiculous defense.
Because there was a guy in this league that, decided to hunt off waivers. Now, I drafted the cat for some reason. I'm not going to name the system, not pointing fingers, no bad blood, but someone got. All right, I think it's because he thinks he's going to play. I'm talking about that.
Look, I picked him up because
in our league, unbeknownst to me,
somehow there's some glitch I need proof of. But, anyways, Kareem Hunt.
Are you the commissioner, Oliver?
No, Will is the commissioner of the league.
Okay, well, he needs to do a deep investigation into this.
You need to do a deep investigation into this.
Keep saying, Will, who's that? John Rico here is the commissioner, and I don't play around.
Well, you better use your commissioner powers if you want.
No. It's all about justice and fairness in this league.
well, we gotta keep going, so I'm gonna let you go, buddy.
Okay. Talking about this Brown situation because I don't know what's going on.
Well, I guess we'll see next week. We'll see next week.
All right, have a good evening.
All right.
Deshaun Deshaun's getting some treatment for this week in preparation for this week's upcoming game. He's getting some treatment.
My buddies are sabotaging the they can sabotage our podcast if they want to.
Yeah, that's totally fine with me.
But anyways, did you say Staley?
Yeah,
I said
definitely said Staley. Yes,
It's
the dude is
Staley.
garbage. Garbage. The dude is bad.
Especially, he's wasting Justin Herbert. It's not a good look. Not a good look. Take a deep dive here. My intestines are not working with me today.
Oh, that sounded like you were about to say something else. I heard intestine. I was like, whoa.
So I want to kind of get your thoughts. See, North is looking like, because there's 3 in that division that are 2-0, and the worst division going into the season.
You said what division?
The NFC. Oh, did I say the?
Yeah,
No,
NFC South.
Excuse me. Yeah, NFC South. Like, there's 3 teams that are 2-0. And I'm sitting here like, is it?
Are there actually good teams in this division?
Did I miss something in the? Because the Falcons are 2-0. The Buccaneers look like with Baker Mayfield and if I'm not mistaken, or do they lose this week? I don't care. They're still
they're 2-0.
That's what I thought.
2-0.
So, it's a surprise. That should actually been my surprise for this week.
Never a doubt.
What?
I told you the Panthers were going to finish last.
Okay, no, I told you the Buccaneers were going to finish last. But I said, don't be surprised if the Falcons are good. And I said, Don't be surprised if the Saints end up being really good because they've always had a good defense. Slow, wake up and smell the coffee. I've been telling you this. I literally said the Buccaneers have a great roster. Nobody left off that roster. That defense is still legit. Shaq Barrett was out the whole year last year. He's back. You got Barrett, Levante David, and Devin White. That is a solid defense. And with Antoine Winfield playing safety for them, they got some good pieces. They got Vita Vea on that D-line. I mean, come on now. The roster still has Mike Evans and Chris Godwin. Nobody left. Like, that's the crazy part is nobody left besides playoff Lenny, who looks like a baked bean who's about to pop. If he doesn't get himself back in shape, he's going to be the second coming to Trent Richardson. But that's another story for another day. So if you look at that roster, all they needed was competent quarterback play. I'm not going to disrespect Tom Brady. He could not do anything behind that offensive line. He could not. Nobody could play behind that offensive line unless you're a mobile quarterback. But Baker playing behind that offensive line, who made slight changes this past offseason, got a couple more players, got deeper. They're playing good. They're playing really, really good. Now, I don't see a strong presence of the run game for Tampa, but that team is still legit. Like, they're still legit, so there was no surprise there. But you were the one singing the praises of Bryce Young. Oh my God, Bryce Young, I love you so much. Bryce Young, I wanna go see you so bad. Bryce Young, oh my gosh, you're just so amazing. We need to stop. Quit slopping on this dude. You know what? He doesn't have it right now. He's not playing good. He's playing calm. He's playing like a mature player because he wants to be a leader, and he has a calm demeanor. Nothing rattles him. That's good. Nothing rattles him. That's all fine and dandy. But if you can't elevate your team, I mean, come on now. The Panthers' defense has always been good. Oh, they've always been good. They've been playing well for them. The offense is struggling to put up points. The offensive line, I get it. It's a terrible offensive line. I get it. Their receiving core consists of Adam Thielen as their number one. I understand. They got Miles Sanders, who never should have been a Pro Bowl running back. I don't know why he made the Pro Bowl. But Bryce Young's got to do better. I'm not shocked that the Panthers are 0-2. I'm not shocked that the other three teams are 2-0. Now, everybody else, all the uneducated people who don't analyze football like I do, of course they thought, oh, this is going to be the worst division in football, and this is going to be a bad division, and they're just going to stick up the joint. Blah, 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 blah. Well, guess what? Look who ended up being right. I didn't say they were going to be the best division. I thought they were going to be bad too. But come on now. I told you the reason that each team could still be good. And I told you the conference was weak. And I told you I wouldn't be surprised if a couple of those teams from that division made it to the playoffs. Tampa has the potential to still be good the rest of the season. Atlanta, once they figure out that they just need to run Bijan into the ground until his legs fall off his body, like smoked ribs, I mean, they're going to win games with him. When they figure out that there's a guy named Kyle Pitts on their team, they're going to unlock even more offense. I mean, think about it. The Saints, once Derek Carr plays competent and once Chris Olave steps up to be the number one wide receiver like you think he is, the Saints have always been good. Michael Thomas is still the number one.
Stop it.
We're
not having this conversation.
Slant Boy is the number one target receiver-wise on that team. He is a number
Chris
for
Olave.
Derek Carr.
He has more targets, more yards. What are we talking about here? Dude,
I'm going to fact check you on that. I'm going to fact check you on that. Go ahead.
I showed you yesterday.
Don't be mad because I was right. Don't be mad because I was right about the NFC South. I'm talking about the NFC South in totality.
Okay. Let me ask you this. Does anyone in the NFC South stand a chance in the NFC? Yes or no?
Yes. Like, what do you mean stand a chance? Like, win a Super Bowl or like make...
Any of them have a chance to make the NFC Championship?
Yes. The Saints.
Who?
The Saints.
What? The Saints?
You know why?
You joking?
Do you know why? Do you know why? Let me tell you why. Let me tell you why the Saints have a chance. The Saints have a chance not because they're super duper good, but they have a chance because they're going to get Kamara back. Are we sure that Brock Purdy's going to make it through the season healthy? If they don't have Brock Purdy, we know what. Well, I might have to take that back because Sam Darnold, he's a good quarterback. I think he's been playing in some really bad systems for some really bad coaches. Sam Darnold could probably take that team to an NFC championship. Dallas, I think they're probably going to make it. I hate the Cowboys with my whole heart, but I think they're probably going to make it. Philly might make it, but you never know. They've been kind of playing these close games a little bit. I mean, they did beat Minnesota pretty bad, but Minnesota also had 4 turnovers, and they beat them by 14 points? 10, 14 points? That should be way more lopsided than it should have been, to be honest with you. They barely beat the Patriots. I'm a Patriots fan, but the Patriots are not that good. You should not be barely escaping from New England, in my opinion. They were
in Foxborough. It's a hard place to play.
They have it. The Saints have a shot. Now, do I pick them over the other 3 right now? Hell no. I don't pick them over the Lions. I don't pick them over the Packers. I think the Packers are sleepers. I think the Packers could be really good. I don't pick them over any of those teams right now. But to say they don't have a shot with that defense is kind of absurd. It's kind of absurd. Derek Carr has never had I don't think he's ever played with the top 10 defense in his career. And now he has it. I'm not a big Derek Carr fan. I'm not a huge Derek Carr fan. Never have been. He's kind of corny in my opinion. He's really, really corny. But they got a shot. You're foolish if you say that they don't have a shot. The NFC is as weak as it's ever been, and you're saying because if they win the division, they only have to win how many games to get to the NFC Championship? 2. They're probably gonna win the division. All they got to win is 2 games, and they're gonna have home field against a team that's probably got a better record than them. Let's be real. That's just how the NFL works. The playoffs. They're probably gonna have a home game against somebody who has a way better record than them. And New Orleans is
I might sound absurd for saying this, but I would give the Washington Redskins a way better chance. Way better chance than any of those teams.
Signing off, everybody. See you next week. See what I got in the fridge here. You got any Patron? No. Well,
Hey, over the Saints, Falcons, Panthers, and Buccaneers. Yep.
I would take them over the other 3 teams in the NFC South, not the Saints.
Johnny,
The Commanders?
sorry. I'm looking at the chat. It is the Washington Redskins. It will always be the Washington Redskins. The Commanders is the corniest name ever made for the history of football. And yes,
What about other
I would
sports?
give them the Guardians. The Cleveland Guardians is terrible. I mean,
What
are we
about
doing?
what about Oklahoma City Thunder? A Thunder? What's a Thunder?
Okay. Fair enough. Okay. Anyways. What were we talking about? Am I missing something? Aren't they 2-0?
They are 2-0 after Russell Wilson stunk up the joint. Oh no, Russell Wilson's been playing good. After their defense stunk up the joint to Sam Howell. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. He's been playing pretty good. I think Eric Bieniemy has really improved that team. But come on now, Commanders, the Washington Commanders.
Yep. We have a chat in Twitch saying the New England Patriots sounds like the corniest to me.
What's the name of the person that said that? Let's call them out on the pod.
Ventiflex. I don't know who that is. I bet you know who that is.
That would happen to be somebody I've known for a long time. That's my beautiful wife, Lourdes.
Aw. Hey, Lourdes.
I'm separated from her right now. I'm on a TDY here, so I'm gone for a month and a half. But thanks for supporting the podcast, babe, and respectfully, of course. You're becoming a Patriots fan in this house, so
She
you
says,
can't really go against.
Hold on. She says, we love Bryce Young. Thank you, Lourdes. Thank you.
She doesn't
she
even
said-
know who Bryce Young is. I promise you, she doesn't even know who that is.
And she said, I like the Dallas Cowboys, which we need to talk about that one. That's not.
She does not like the Cowboys. You know who she do?
Oh my
You know who she does like? She does like Joe Burrow.
Burrow, she did say that. She said, "We love Joe Burrow, hard eyes." So, how do you feel about that one, buddy?
Hey, I ain't gonna lie. Hey, no homo. I'm a married man. I don't got the ring on, but a brother's smarter enough to know when another brother is pretty good looking. Now he does have modifications. The dude got veneers. This dude's teeth are blinding because he got the veneers in. But he's a good looking guy. I don't blame her. I can't blame her. I can't.
Yeah. Anyways, we're already 45 minutes into this. It's been a wild podcast. Anyways,
it's been all over the place.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and get into our top 5 teams heading into week 3. And I hate doing for me, college football rankings, preseason rankings they shouldn't be a thing. Every team should go into the year unranked. Every year should be a brand new slate because every team in college football changes way too much for us to rank them 1 through 25. So that's kind of where I sit at for early season rankings. It needs to be week 7, week 8 for us to really have a feel of what the teams are actually like and what they're expected to do later in the season. But we're going to do top 5 as of week 2, end of week 2 going into week 3. What are your top 5 NFL teams, Isaiah?
Okay. I'm in no particular order right now. Actually, no, I'll put them in order. Number 1, and I'll explain myself when I'm done. Number 1, and I hate. Well, okay, not number 1. Okay, number 1, I think has got to be the Miami Dolphins. That's my number 1. I think they've shown that they've played some quality opponents. They've played some good defenses, and they've been playing very well. I got Miami number 1. Makes me want to throw up. I got the Dallas Cowboys number 2. Now, they have played Zach Wilson, and they have played Daniel Jones. And as Stephen A. Smith likes to say, Saquon Barkley and a bag of chips, which I think is hilarious. When it's funny because they literally have Darren Waller. They got some other good pieces on that team. So I don't know why he says that, but they beat the Giants. I understand. The level of competition for those 2 games that Dallas has is absolutely just it's bad. Now maybe if the Jets had A-Rod and he was healthy playing in that game, it might be a little different. But they destroyed the 2 New York teams that they played. They played very, very well. I hate the Cowboys, but that defense is legit. People are harping on Dak because he's not doing enough offensively. When your defense is giving you 20 points a game, I mean, well, you're just going to air the ball out all game? No, you don't need to. Just hand the ball off to what's his name? Tony Pollard, and then the little action figure they got. What's his name? Deuce Vaughn. The little action figure they got playing the backup running back. Yeah, he's
whoa, action figure.
Yeah, he's 2 feet tall. You know, sometimes I take my phone out and I zoom in on the screen when I'm watching the Cowboys game so I can actually see Deuce Vaughn whenever he's running the ball. He's so tiny. Anyways, Miami number 1. I think you got to put Dallas 2. This is my list, so it's opinionated. I know they haven't been playing the best, but I think personally Baltimore is number 3. I'm just a huge fan of I'm not a Baltimore Ravens fan, but I love watching them play. I love their defense. I love watching Lamar play. I think they're super fun to watch. I got Baltimore number 3. Number 4, you got to put San Francisco. The reason they're low is because it kind of scared me against the Rams. They had no business having that game so close with the Rams. But then again, they always play them tight during the regular season. I think you got to put the Rams at number 4. And then number 5, I think because they're 2-0, they bended a little bit but didn't break, the Eagles. So those are my top 5 right now. I think the Eagles team, they've been playing kind of shaky to start, but when you lose your OC and your DC, it's kind of expected. They're still 2-0, still played good, still putting up a lot of points. So Philadelphia, San Francisco, number 4, Baltimore, number 3, Dallas, number 2, and Miami, number 1. What about you, Mr. Mintz?
It's a respectful list.
Notice how the Bills are not on the top 5. Notice. How
Oh
the
yeah,
Chiefs are
and
not in the top
that is exactly why you're wrong. Like,
And notice how the Chiefs are not in the top 5.
okay,
Go ahead.
before I go into my rankings, Johnny Henderson, whoever that guy is, I know who he is, but Johnny Henderson says thoughts on Dabo Swinney. He sucks. I mean,
He needs to get with the times. He needs to
without
get with
Trevor
the times.
Lawrence, without Trevor Lawrence or Deshaun Watson, he's nothing. So, good luck, Dabo. It's a little different. So I'm gonna go 5-1, and number 5 is gonna be the Bills, because even with the loss in week 1, week 2 that was a completely different team. Like through and through, each side of the ball played their best football they have played up to, obviously up until week 2. Like that was one of the best performances I've seen Ken Dorsey put together. Yes, sir.
Excuse me, Mr. Mintz. I know I interrupt you a lot. I'll stop interrupting you after this one. I just want to ask you one question, sir. Just one question. I just want a yes or no explanation. Have the Eagles been playing better than the Bills this season? Two games off 2 games. Yes or no?
Maybe.
Have the 49ers been playing better than the Bills through 2 weeks?
But I have both those teams up here.
Have the Cowboys? Have the Dolphins?
Okay. You just named the last 4 teams I was going to name.
Okay.
Thanks for ruining it.
Okay. Go ahead.
Jesus.
I'm just
This
saying.
this is why we don't interrupt people.
If you're gonna put them on the list, you gotta take somebody off. Okay? They're not playing better than the Eagles.
Okay, but you can make the argument they are. They almost lost to the Vikings.
You can't even make the argument. The Vikings
you can.
were 4 last season.
You can absolutely make that argument.
Oh my! Oh, they have Justin Jefferson on the Vikings. What are you talking about? And Jordan Addison. Continue. Go ahead. Go ahead, sir. Go.
Okay. I'm going to just restart the whole thing. Number 5, the Buffalo Bills. Week 2, we looked freaking amazing. Every facet of the game looked great. Ken Dorsey made great calls with the offense. And I never say that. I hate Ken Dorsey normally. But last week, he was on my good side. But Sean McDermott is looking really good calling this defense. I am thoroughly impressed with Matt Milano. Matt Milano is a dog. The guy is a dog. So I'm going to keep him at 5, but the potential is there. They could be number 1 by the end of this year. I'm putting it out there. All right. Number 4, the Dallas Cowboys. And here's why. Number 4, because who have they played? They played Zach Wilson? Give me a break. Zach Wilson? Okay. All right. And they did tear up that the Jets offense and defense, both sides. But the Cowboys for as much as that pains me to say, their defense is nuts. Micah Parsons is arguably the best player in the league outside of Mahomes, and they look good. They look good on the defensive side. Number 3 is the Niners. The Niners looked really good in week 1 against the Steelers defense that is really stout. And their offense is very solid. I'm impressed with Brock Purdy so far. Brock Purdy is not a bad quarterback, despite what people might say. He's a good game manager that can take this team to a Super Bowl.
Thank you for clarifying that.
Yes, he's a good, decent quarterback. He's not like a superstar. He's not going to make all the crazy plays. He will put the ball where it needs to be put and won't turn the ball over. And that's all you need in San Francisco. And they look pretty okay in week 2, a little shaky, but the Rams are a good team too. So I have the Niners at 3. At 2, I have the Philadelphia Eagles. And as you said, they haven't looked great, but that team, top to bottom, is probably the best team in the league. They have the quarterback, they have the receivers, they have the running backs, they have the defense, they have everything they need to win the game or to win the Super Bowl. And it's looked shaky. I'm not gonna lie. Jalen Hurts has to figure it out, but they're gonna be okay. And they're playing in the NFC. The NFC East is obviously a dogfight every year, but I think they're going to end up winning the division for the first time back to back. I think in how many years? In a long time. So,
real quick, Oliver. A gentleman named Johnny Henderson here. He finds it quite disrespectful that you're talking about Zach Wilson in the way you are talking about him.
yeah.
So you better watch your tone. That's what I'm saying. He doesn't sound too pleased.
Yeah, I need to put respect on Zach Wilson, who throws 3 interceptions in a game, like Josh Allen did. Josh Allen did. True. Yes, you can make the argument. However,
he hasn't taken the ayahuasca yet. He needs to go. He needs to go take a trip, and he needs to go take a darkness retreat and get on some ayahuasca. That's what he needs to do.
Zach Wilson stinks. Give me a break. What are we doing? I mean, Johnny, Ethan, like, fellas, stop it. Like, whatever you're smoking, put it down, please.
Oh, hold on. Ethan made a good point. He said the Bills lost to Zach Wilson.
Yeah. No. They lost to the Jets defense. No. We lost to the Jets defense. We didn't lose to Zach Wilson.
Wow. If you lose to Zach Wilson, you should automatically be below 15. You shouldn't even be close to top 5. Through 2 weeks, if you lose to Zach Wilson, which you happen to be the only team in the league that has lost to Zach Wilson.
Buddy, did you see the Bills-Raiders game? Did you?
Oh my God, the Raiders defense has never been good, ever. They've never been good.
Right, and we beat them by 4 touchdowns. What do I need to say? We won by 28.
That's like me going to my local YMCA, playing a dude in a wheelchair, and being like, "Oh yeah, I'm the truth. I should have made it to the league." like, let's be for real here. Come on now, let's be serious. Serious.
Okay, all right. Would you have do the Chiefs look better or the Bills look better right now? Thank you.
You can't properly evaluate the Chiefs because they didn't have Travis or Chris.
Oh, we can't properly evaluate the Chiefs.
We can't.
Sorry. The reigning Super Bowl champions. We can't evaluate them, right? Give me a break.
Am I unfair in saying that the Chiefs would have won that game against Detroit if they would have had Travis and Chris Jones?
I don't know. You don't know. That would have changed the game. But you don't know if they would have still won that game. The Lions are a good team.
Johnny agrees with me. He said the Chiefs would definitely have won that game against Detroit. Sounds like a very intelligent fellow over here. Oliver, I don't know. It doesn't seem like you're the brightest crayon in the box when it comes to your friend group because they seem to have a lot more sports intellect. We might be looking into. I might pull a Skip Bayless on you. We might have to sub you out for somebody else and bring a dream team in.
Whoa! This is no. We're not doing this. Ethan, did you see the 68-yard touchdown from Wilson to Wilson? That was an absolute rope. Yes, and I also saw the 3 interceptions that Zach Wilson threw, and which the game. This is also the same game that they lost by 20, right? Oh. Yeah. That's right. That's the same game they lost by 20. Okay. I just wanted to make sure I wasn't going crazy and that the Jets actually did beat the Cowboys. Okay. I'm not going crazy. He could throw a 68-yard touchdown and oh my God, all is forgiven. Zach Wilson's the greatest quarterback. Give me a break. Give me a freaking break.
Okay. All right. We heard you. It's
I've gone to my number 1 team. I haven't gone to my number 1 team. I haven't gotten to number 1.
Chart.
I haven't gone to my number 1 team. Number 1 is Miami. Miami's offense looks like one of the best offenses I've ever seen.
Miami.
Now, the real question is, like we talked about last week, can Tua stay healthy? Because if he can, as a Bills fan, I'm worried about this division. Because going into the season, going into this year, I was worried about the Jets more than I was worried about the Dolphins. But after 2 weeks, I'm concerned. I'm concerned about the Dolphins. They look good, man. Like, they through and through, they look like the best team in the league right now. And I got to give them credit. I mean, Tua's slinging it. Tyreek Hill is playing well. Jalen Waddle's playing well. And
I
got to give it to
something.
him.
Since you're basically on the Buffalo Bills roster because you wear so much gear of them all the time, free advertisement space right there on Oliver Mintz's head. Why don't you go ahead and tell the defensive who is it? Sean McDermott, head coach and defensive coordinator. Look, I watch every single Patriots game, every single preseason game as well. Now, did I pick the Patriots to win this game against Miami? Of course I did. I had hope after playing the Eagles tough. I had hope. I thought wrong. I will tell you, and this is going to sound stupid, Sean McDermott, if you're watching the Athletic Exchange podcast right now, you better listen to me because you don't know what the hell you're doing with these boys down in Miami. You have to play how the Patriots played them. Tyreek had a touchdown. There's nothing you could do once he gets in the red zone. Well, specifically first or under 10 yards. So the Patriots had the game plan to beat Miami from a defensive perspective. The offense is it just bothers me, the offense. But they just played, what they did was they played a lot of their DB. They played a lot of DB heavy packages. So there was a lot of safeties and corners on the field. And Tyreek, they could not get him a throw. And even in those RPOs that they love running, where Tua hikes it and then he literally hands it to Mostert, fake hands it, and then he just looks and it's just a dart every time. They played some DBs on the outside close to Tyreek and then had some in the middle back like Duggar and then back, and Tyreek couldn't get anything going. Like he had 40 yards and I think a couple of catches. The game plan from Belichick was to take him out the game, which they did, but that running game is still good. Miami has a solid running game. They never had a really, really good running game. So Buffalo, I think they do have a shot to beat Miami because they got a good D line. But that's the recipe. I'm just letting you know. The Bills should be watching that tape of the Patriots-Dolphins game. The Patriots, if they would have had slightly better play calling. Side note, what a play by Mike Gesicki to throw that ball back to Cole Strange.
That was one of the smartest things I've ever seen a tight end do.
And the dude almost got the first down until somebody paid off the refs. But that's another day.
That was a first. They shouldn't have overturned it.
It was a first down. It was a first down. But I just want to say that tape. If you watch the highlights from that Patriots game, they played the Dolphins they played the Dolphins good, and the Bills have the personnel to play. They got Tre'Davious White. They got Micah and Jordan back there playing safety. They got some dogs back there. So I think that game is a recipe for how to guard that Miami team. But not everybody has the personnel to do it. So just want to point that out.
I agree. Miami definitely looks good. And I never thought I'd say that. I never thought that I'd say that. Tua is the odds-on favorite for MVP right now, by the way. Just putting that out there. And you said he has absolutely no shot. But we'll see how that. We'll see how that looks like in week 17 if he's still up there. It's TBD. But anyways, I think we got to move off of the NFL real quick.
Okay.
I'm definitely gonna talk about this UT Baylor game, and it's been rough, man. It's been rough.
This was the first state. How can it not be rough?
It was bad. It was bad. It was a bad 2 weeks for me as a football fan. First, Baylor lost twice. Second, the Bills lost week 1. So I was just down tremendously. And it wasn't, it's like a consistent cycle for me. Like I am always down bad for some reason about some sports team, how they let me down. I just have the worst sports teams out there.
You
as
do.
regard in regards to
100%.
in regard to winning championships outside of the Braves, who are absolutely
Mm-hmm.
going to win the World Series this year. But I digress. Baylor has the University of Texas coming into town, into Waco, for the last time ever before the University of Texas heads down to the SEC. Now, here's my thing. Is this a trap game for Texas? Yes. And I'm calling it right now. This could age terribly. And it probably will. But the Baylor Bears will show up. Oh, Jesus. The Baylor Bears on September, what's today? The 20th? Is Saturday the 23rd? On September 23rd, the Baylor Bears in Waco, Texas at 6:30 p.m. will beat the University of Texas Longhorns and send them back packing to Austin, sending them to the SEC with a loss. I'm calling it here. Take the Bears to cover plus 13. I'm riding. You ride it with me.
I think Quinn over here has something to say about that.
Nope. I don't care who their quarterback is. I don't care what they are. If they're number 1 in the country or number 35 in the country. The Baylor Bears are going to show up. Sawyer Robertson at quarterback. Watch out for him. Sawyer Robertson is going to show up. Former 4-star out of Lubbock, Arenado. He's going to show up in his second game as a starter and tear up a Texas defense that is pretty good. And the Baylor defense is going to be all over Quinn Ewers.
You sound like
Isaiah.
like a Cowboys fan. You sound like you disgust me. You sound just like all them Dallas Cowboys fans. They're rubbing off on you. Come on now.
It's a blackout game. ABC prime time, 6:30 in the evening.
I don't care if it's Elemental P. I don't give a damn.
The game is sold out.
It's going to be a sold-out stadium. That fan base is showing up. Sick 'em Bears. I'm calling it right now on September 20th. Take the money line. Take them plus the points. Send them back to Texas. Send them to the SEC crying. Horns down.
Wait till Mr. Greg gets a hold of this clip. Boy, oh boy. Wait till he gets a hold of this clip. Oh, man.
He will appreciate that I love him.
Yeah, you're loyal. That's a fact. You're loyal until you hop off the Thunder bandwagon. When they had Westbrook, KD, James Harden, Serge Ibaka, Kendrick Perkins, Hashim Thabit.
Chet, Shea, and Josh Giddey are looking good, though, bud.
They are. Oh, I can't wait till we get into NBA season. Oh, my goodness.
I know. I'm so excited. But, so what are your thoughts? What college football for week 3? Or week 4, excuse me.
Okay, I need to be informed. Does USC play Colorado not this upcoming week? They play Oregon this week, but then they play USC the week after that, right? Colorado does?
Correct. Yeah.
Okay, but we're talking about this week. Okay, Bo Nix, Oregon Ducks. If it walks like a duck, it quacks like a duck, it's a duck. And that duck, figuratively, for me, I think Oregon is looking like a solid team. They're ranked high for a reason. Colorado's kind of, the loss of Travis is huge. Huge. That's a big loss for them. They need some beef on the O&D line, Colorado. I think Oregon's going to and I know everybody's been underestimating Colorado every game, and they've been winning. But they've had Travis for those games. They're not going to have Travis for a couple weeks. I think that game it's going to get out of hand pretty quickly, to be honest with you. I think Oregon has a good D-line. I think Shedeur is going to have one of his best games stat-wise, only because they're going to be down so much, and they're probably not going to even attempt to run the ball. They've always had a bad running game, the 3 games they've had. But Baylor and Texas.
It's okay.
I think you can call it a trap game. You can call it what you want. I think Texas. I think they come out with the W. They come out with the W against Baylor, and the great
It's fair.
city.
It's honestly fair.
The great city of Waco, Texas. Half of people who aren't from Texas don't even know where Waco's at. And they know what Baylor is, but they don't know where Waco. And Waco's a beautiful city. First of all, no disrespect to the beautiful people in Waco, Texas. I love
it.
Waco.
It's very slept on.
Beautiful city, gorgeous city. But I mean, we're talking about UT, and I'm not even a UT fan like that. But I got to side with my good a role model for me in my high school years, Mr. Greg. He's a huge Longhorns fan, and I think I got to side with him. So those are the two games that I have my eye on this weekend.
Isaiah, I want to throw some gambling on you. So apparently, the line for this game opened up. This Baylor Texas game opened up at -8. It is up to -15. Do you know why? Because the public is all over Texas. They think Texas is going to blow this game out of the water. Which, fair. Based off the first 3 weeks, yeah, you can make that assumption.
Yeah, you can. You know why? Because if you're the Baylor Bears, you shouldn't be losing to Texas State.
Yeah, we shouldn't have lost that game.
You shouldn't. I went to Texas State. The team has always been trash. Always been so bad. They've always got pounded by UTSA.
I'm not gonna lie though, dude. I'm not Texas State head coach from the transfer portal, and those dudes showed up because they knew they were massive underdogs going into that game, and they showed up.
Yeah.
All credit to them.
Yeah,
we looked terrible, and we should have beat Utah in week 2, but somehow blow that one. So that's why I think it could be a trap game, because Utah came into Waco, damn near lost, and they're a top 10 team. So I'm not saying it's plausible. It's plausible. Obviously, I'm riding with my team. That's my school. I love my school. It's a blackout. Students always show up for a blackout game. Prime time, ABC. I'm telling you, it's gonna be tough for UT. It's gonna be a lot tougher than people think.
It's in Waco, right? It's in Waco.
Yeah.
Are you going to that game, Mr. Mitch?
That I don't know yet. That's TBD. I am going to the NASCAR race up here on Sunday, so that's like I don't know. It's a TBD.
They'd probably love to have you there. You could probably be the ball boy. You might be able to put the tee out on the field. They might let you do that. Maybe. We'll see. Worth the shot.
Oh my goodness.
So yeah, I think that line is crazy.
I think Oregon.
Take
The points.
get
Mm-hmm.
Because if they have a chance,
I but
I will say Oregon, Colorado, sneaky good game. Sneaky good game.
like
I think
Colorado has a chance to up.
Oregon didn't look great last week against Texas Tech.
They look
They looked average
to me. So
Colorado
can replicate
what Tech
did last relevant.
a little bit.
I don't know. We'll see.
Honestly,
And Eugene.
you make a valid point, but honestly, I'm picking Oregon, but I wouldn't be surprised if Colorado won. Honestly, because they've surprised a lot of people already, and I think people know better than to underestimate them long term. But I promise you, with 100% certainty, they're getting blown out by USC. Even if Travis plays, I promise.
Whoa.
I promise you. I promise you.
If
Well, you know what?
If Colorado's
let's save that for next week. Let's save USC Colorado for. We could talk about that.
Caveat.
We could talk about that next week.
1 point.
if Colorado's 4-0 going back home to USC, watch out.
That's all I have to say.
Watch out! I'm gonna see him coming
Watch
a mile
out.
away. What do you mean? Watch out! Okay. All right. Whatever. Love Colorado. They're amazing.
Yeah.
Shit, there's gonna be a first rounder
this year.
He's coming back to play. I promise you.
Let's take a look at the chat here. How about those Chiefs, John? Yeah, man. He's loving this. Where's L in the toilet bowl? Yep. I will. And Waco does look like a toilet bowl, but it's a gorgeous toilet bowl, and it's what
to take a dump in. So,
Sewers L in the toilet.
Yes.
Very personal. Johnny says, "Scope eat them up, cats." So
eat them up, cats.
Place, right?
Eat them up.
He's
all over the place.
All over the place. But last comments before we let the great viewers of this world.
Those who have been watching, the podcast the past couple of weeks, I think it's very clear to see that we can figure out who's the more educated one. So far, when it comes to, okay, Oliver has the edge on me in college sports. He does. I will admit that, but I think it's pretty clear to see that Oliver needs to do some studying on his off time. So, guys, if you're watching, if you listen to this later, send him a DM. Give him some pointers, because I'm really beating him out bad in predictions, and it probably will continue that way for the rest of the time we're doing the pod. So,
like I said,
he needs some help. He needs some help.
I'm going against your picks because I'm trying to win. I picked like 5 of those games. I picked 5 of those games based off.
I picked the opposite of your team that you picked.
Even though I know, I still did it because I was trying to beat you.
Okay.
So, you know what, Isaiah? You know what I'm going to do this week? I'm going to pick every team. I'm just going to do that and see how that goes.
Okay. All right. And
Exactly.
guess what? You're going to have a better record. Your percentage is going to go up. I promise you.
Okay, hold on. Do we just like
rapid fire?
We like 10 minutes.
Yeah. You read out the games and then you say who you think's going to win, and I'll say who I think's going to win. And then no explanation. We'll just rapid fire.
All right.
So last,
but you gotta say who the home stadium is. Say who the home team is, so I know.
So Thursday night we have the Giants visiting the 49ers. I will take the 49ers.
49ers.
Okay. And then at Vikings. I will take the Chargers to win their first game of the year.
I'm taking the Minnesota Vikings.
Fair enough. Excuse me, Redskins. I'll take the Bills.
I'll take the Bills. I'll take the Buffalo Bills.
Don't tell me you were considering the Redskins. All right, Saints at Packers.
Oh, you go first. That's a tough one.
I'll go Packers.
I gotta go Saints. New Orleans. They get Kamara back next week.
Got Falcons at Lions. I'll take.
Oh, that's gonna be a good. That's gonna be a good game. I'll watch that game.
Oh, man, I'll take the Lions. I'll take Detroit.
I'll take the Lions as well.
All right, Titans at Brown.
I'll
take the Browns. I'll take the Browns coming off a loss at home.
I'm taking the Tennessee Titans.
You can get away on that one. Texans at Jags pretty easily.
Give me the Jags. Duval.
Pats at Jets.
Yes, sir. Go Pats. That's America's real team right there. Go Pats. They'll be beating the Jets, even if the score is going to be 3-0. Promise.
All right. Broncos at Dolphins.
Oh.
This is the sneaky game.
Sneaky game of the week.
Oh my gosh! Stop believing in the Broncos. What have they
Give me the
shown you?
Broncos. Give me the Broncos.
They literally blew a lead to the Washington Commanders, Redskins, whatever you want to call them. Come on, man. Or you think they're going to blow a lead to Miami? Or you think they're going to beat Miami? You
I'm
are
just
so
telling you.
you make no sense. You make no sense.
I'll take the Broncos.
You still got RG3.
It's
fever. You still got it.
It's only week 3.
Okay.
Make absurd predictions.
Predictions and look back at them and say we were idiots. But right now,
Okay.
still aren't in it.
They're 0-2.
The Bengals are 0-2. The Chargers.
Yes, but everybody knows. Yes. Okay. I'm taking Miami clearly for that game. That game will. Yeah, Miami.
All right.
Colts at Ravens. I'll take the Ravens.
I'm taking the Ravens. That'll be a fun one to watch though. If Richardson's back.
Panthers at Seahawks. I'll take Carolina. Sneaky Carolina.
The Panthers.
I'm
will be
just
dropping
messing, man.
0-3.
I'm just. Give me the Seahawks.
Okay. The Seahawks.
I'll take the Seahawks.
Smart man.
Cowboys at Cardinals. Josh, the scientists. I'm telling you,
get me started. Dallas Cowboys are winning that game, man. Let's not even joke around.
It's the cow. It's the.
You know, tomorrow's a good opportunity for the Cardinals to get some players injured, so that way they can really not say
Blow a
that
lead.
if they get Dobbs injured, if one of them gets injured real bad, it's a more valid excuse.
Mm-hmm. All right, Bears at Chiefs.
Supposedly.
That is not America's game of the week. You're joking me.
It is on Fox.
Oh my! Why are the Bears getting America's game of the week? Kansas City for me. Easily.
It's Kansas City.
Easily.
What are we doing here? Steelers at Raiders. This is tough, actually.
I'm taking the Pittsburgh Steelers.
On the road?
Have you seen Alex Highsmith and TJ Watt? My goodness, those dudes are.
Have you seen Kit? I mean, Jesus.
I have seen Kenny Pickett.
The Raiders have the quarterback advantage here. That I'm telling you, Max Crosby and the Raiders defense can't show up. I'm gonna take the Raiders here. Give me the Vegas Raiders. Steelers. Eagles at Buccaneers Monday night. On the road against an undefeated field-led Bucks. You good there?
That one's hard. Cause I'm really good at telling when games are trap games for teams. That's why I have a better record than you, because I've gotten some games that were unexpected. Correct. I gotta go Philly. I can't disrespect Jalen Hurts. I think Philly's gonna beat Tampa.
I'm gonna pick the Buccaneers.
Give me the Buccaneers.
Wow. I wouldn't be surprised if they won, to be honest with you.
It wouldn't be surprising. I'm gonna call it at home Monday night. I'll take it. I'll take my chance.
Game.
Rams at Bengals. 2.5.
If Joe Burrow does not put, I'm taking the Rams. I don't care who's the quarterback. I'm taking the Rams. The Rams are winning that game. Call it right now, Monday night. The Rams are going to beat the Bengals. And they're going to be all over Joe Burrow or Jake Browning. I don't care who is back there. That line is trash. Aaron Donald is coming. He won his first ring against them. It's going to be hell for the Bengals that game. I think Rams win that game. I think Rams win that game.
If this is a caveat I'm making here, if plays, I will take the Bengals. If he doesn't play, the Rams. I think Joe Burrow is going to – they have to win a game. They have to win a game at some point for them to –
You're right. But against Aaron Donald? Aaron Donald. The 49ers barely got out of LA with the win against the Rams. Barely.
Buddy,
This Puka kid, I mean, my goodness. This dude is the truth if you ever seen it. I mean, he is a good player. Not just because he's getting targeted a lot. He's a good player. And you think they're gonna put Joe Burrow out there week 3 when he's literally re-injured, he has a re-aggravated injury. You think they're gonna put him out there with Aaron Donald lining up against that O-line? Why would you do that? You're asking for your season to get Take the loss.
Okay.
They gotta take the loss.
Don't you trust Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, all those guys? It's a stout. One of the best offenses in the league. With Joe, well, if he regroups this week, and it's in Cincinnati, it's not in Los Angeles. So I'm telling you, Houday Nation is showing up. They're gonna show up. All right.
So is Aaron Donald.
I think this is the game where we see Joe Burrow come back into his own and look like Joe Burrow of past 2. I'm taking the Bengals if he plays.
Okay. All right. Well, those are our picks then.
Write them down somewhere, remember them.
Yeah, for sure. We can always just rewatch it.
Yeah. Well, thank you for joining us tonight. Live stream and all of the fun things. Appreciate the chats, despite all of my friends sabotaging the chats, especially Johnny. I'm going to talk to him about this at school tomorrow. So hope you're ready for that one, buddy. But it's all right. Our episode should be uploaded hopefully before the week starts, before we see kickoff. We'll probably
On Thursday.
but likely before Sunday games and Monday games. So be on the lookout. Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Leave us a review. Leave us a comment. If you hate us, tell us. If you love us, tell us. So follow our socials. The A Podcast 23 on X and at Pod on Instagram. And follow our personal social. I think they're down in like the little description thingy. But anyways, Isaiah, good episode, wild episode. It took a lot of twists and turns, but we're almost on episode 10, man. Almost on episode 10. So we're moving through these. We're gonna have more guests on. Mr. Greg might reappear at some point later in the future. He seemed to get a lot of love, and I bet he appreciates that. So we will see you guys next week, maybe with the guest.
Thank
maybe
you guys.
And keep an eye out. We're going to be live streaming from now on. So if you guys want to hop in the chat, hop in the chat. Anyways, thanks everybody. Have a good week and
Have a great
sick 'em Bears. Sick 'em Bears, baby.